सर्वत्रिकालवर्तीयायर्याणं नमो लोये सर्वत्रिकालवर्तीयोज्जायाणं नमो लोये सर्वत्रिकालवर्तीसावणम् ओंकारं बिंदु संयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनं कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः नमः समय साराय स्वानुभूत्या चकासते चित् स्वभावाय भावाय सर्वभावान्तरचिदे अज्ञानतिमिरन्धानां ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। ॐ नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ॐ नमः सिद्धेभ्यो Om Sri Sudhatmane Namaha. Jai Jinendra. So today is a May 3rd, 2025, Saturday, and we are continuing our class on a Chhadhaala, and we are on Dhala number 2. We have a couple of classes done, so we are continuing from where we were left out. So I'll bring the slides and we'll start continuing from where we were before. Okay, so we are on Dhala number 2, and we get the synopsis. So this was the last slide. So we just continuation of this talk that we can just go through that slide quickly. So Dhala 2 shows suffering in the 4 realms of existence. The main reason for suffering. What's the reason for suffering that's been said? So it says the reason for suffering in 4 gati is my mithyatva. We always talk word mithyatva, mithyatva, mithyatva. But what is mithyatva? If you have to say in one word, mithyatva means I am the body. That kind of thinking, that kind of understanding is called mithyatva. That's a kind of very gross way of saying what mithyatva is. But in Daulat Ramji, in Chhadhaala, in Dhala number 2, he goes in great detail about mithyatva. He explains what is really mithyatva. In essence, simple thing, I am the body and I have ekatva, mamatva, kartutva, bhoktrutva with the physical body. I have doership, oneness with the body. I have the enjoyership with the body, and that's my problem. When I take that oneness with the body attention away, how can I do that? Well, that's what the whole scriptures are there for us to explain to us. So over here it says that mithyatva, what is the nature of mithyatva? Dhala 2 shows the nature of mithyatva. Then how to remove and everything, Dhala 3, 4, 5, 6, they are there. Over here, nature of mithyatva. So there are 2 types of mithyatva, we have to know it. One is a agrahit mithyatva, inborn wrong concept, means the wrong concept that I am the body, I am the body, I am the body. That kind of the wrong concept is going on since time infinite. When I was in Nigod, when there was a common body, infinite living beings in one cell, and that too infinite living being in that one cell, they will say, I am the body. Body is mine. When there is a 1 sense and 1 sense living being, 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents, Sentient five sense like human being, animals, heavenly soul, hellish soul. Everybody will say, body is mine, body is mine. An ant is coming, and if there's a fire, it's going to run away because this is detrimental to my body. An ant is there and you put a sugar, this is good for my body, and ant will get attracted there. There also body is mine, body is mine. So that's an inborn concept. It's called wrong concept, means agrahit. Grahit means accepted. Agrahit means inborn, present since infinite times. Now this wrong concept, mithyatva, is divided into three parts. Wrong faith, mithya darshan; wrong knowledge, mithya gyan; wrong conduct, mithya charitra. Similarly, there is another form of mithyatva is called acquired wrong concept, grahit mithyatva. It has been accepted in this life by us. Grahit, in this life. Acquired. Again, they are divided into three parts: wrong faith, wrong knowledge, wrong conduct. So, mithyatva as a whole chapter in Dhaala number 2 is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 subsections. Wrong faith of agrahit mithyatva, wrong knowledge of agrahit mithyatva, wrong conduct of agrahit mithyatva, wrong faith of grahit mithyatva, wrong knowledge of grahit mithyatva, wrong conduct of grahit mithyatva. So our discussion from today onwards in Dhaala 2 will be going in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 subsections. They all are important, but most important one is this one: wrong faith of inborn wrong concept, means mithya darshan of agrahit mithyatva. That's a main chapter, main subchapter. We'll pay more attention to that, and then rest of the subject also will give attention as it belongs there. So now that we know the overall view of Dhaala number 2, then we can say what comes there. So now we start with the first Dhaala and stanza number 1, and we'll see how these things starts moving. So let's see. So what it means over here, let's see. That's the same thing that we played. So we are going to divide each word to just start with, to understand what it tries to say. Aise mithya dragagrana charanavash. So what it says over here, aise means in this way. Mithya dragagnana charan means wrong faith, wrong knowledge, wrong conduct. Mithya darshan, mithya gyan, mithya charitra. Vash means under the influence of. Brahmat means wanders. Bharat means bears. Dukha janma maran, pain of birth and death. Tate, therefore, inko, to this. Tajye, leave. Sujan, knowing well. Sun, listen. Teen, these three, sangsep in brief. Kahu Bakan Net means, this is just a word dissection. It doesn't mean anything so far for our understanding, but what it turns to be, what it says over here, verbal meaning will be, living being wanders in this world, transmigratory living being, starting from Nigod all the way to Sangni Panchendriya Manushya like us. We keep on wandering. चार गति ना दुख में जीव भ्रमण करता है अनादि से. अनादि का अर्थ क्या हुआ? What does it infinite means? Infinite times means in before? Remember, in this time, half time cycle, 24 Tirthankars occurred. First Tirthankar was Rishabdev. Last was Mahavir Swami, 2500 years back. Rishabdev was almost 1 crore years, 1 crore Sagropam years before. Means millions and billions of years. Rishabdev Bhagwan. You know, in the 90s, there was one person, there is one group decided to do the research to find out the Rishabdev's Nirvana Kshetra, Kailas, Mount Kailas in Tibet. And I was part of the team. We went there. And I have gone through the every square inch of Kailas mountain area. There is nothing that you can see from Rishabdev's existence because it was millions and billions and trillions of years before was Rishabdev Bhagwan. How can I have any remnant seen? If I come to the Bangalore city now, and I was there 20 years back, 30 years back, it is totally different. How can I see that a remnant of Rishabdev Bhagwan could be there in Mount Kailash? So, in millions and billions and trillions of years before Rishabdev Bhagwan was there, this is one Chaubisi alone. Imagine infinite Chaubisis passed by in the past. And that is the time that I am wandering in this universe. In this universe, I keep on wandering from human to subhuman to hell to heaven to human to sub. It continuously keeps on going. And because of I'm wandering means I'm taking birth and death, so there is a suffering of pain of birth and death. Well, Akshita Didi can say much more about the birth pain woman goes through because she is a obstetrician gynecology doctor. She knows how much pain a lady passes through, how much pain a mother passes through to give the birth of a child. And child is also passing through lots of suffering. Death, we have seen somebody dying. I have seen people dying in my career. In the hospital, they'll say, "Doctor, do something. I want to live. It's intense pain." So birth and death is an intense pain. But I have short-lived memory. I don't remember all the things, and so I think that there is no pain during death and no pain during birth, and this suffering is going on since time infinite in my life, in our lives. Why am I doing this one? Why I have birth and death pain in this transmigratory world? Because of wrong faith, wrong knowledge, wrong conduct. Wrong faith, wrong knowledge, wrong conduct of inborn type, agrahit mithyatva, or grahit mithyatva, acquired type. So because of this wrong faith, knowledge and conduct, I am suffering. Therefore, after knowing them well, I'm going to leave them. I'm going to get out of mithyatva. This second Dhaala will say only, how can I get out of this suffering? That's it. How can I get out of this suffering? Now, once I know the nature of my suffering, do I want to go that way? If I have idea, if I know that such and such road has an accident and there is a tremendous backup of the traffic, will I go that route? No. Knowing, I will not go through the route. Similarly, I'm going to know the nature of wrong faith, wrong conduct, wrong knowledge. And thereafter, automatically I'm going to leave them. I, the author, Daulat Ramji, described these three beliefs, these three in brief. Please listen carefully. So he's requesting us to listen, put our attention together and listen carefully and see what it is. So, inborn wrong concept or grahit mithyatva. Inborn wrong concept or grahit mithyatva, which is present since time infinite within me. Since time infinite, I say, body is mine, body is mine, body is mine, body is mine. If it is very, very warm today, hey, can you start the air conditioning? If it is cold today, can we start the heating please? Because body is mine, body is mine, body is mine. But when this soul leaves this body, and it's a dead body, soul is not there, this dead body will put into the furnace. Little temperature going up, little temperature going down, and I want air condition and or heater, and I'm uncomfortable if they are not there. Imagine this dead body put into the furnace. 1600 Fahrenheit temperature goes up in that furnace. Unfortunately, 3 weeks back, I had somebody passing away in our acquaintance, and had to go to Portland, Oregon, and we had to put that body in the furnace. And I asked the guys, how much temperature it goes? 1600 Fahrenheit temperature. And that body will not complain anything because there is no soul living there. So wrong faith, mithya darshan, wrong knowledge, mithya gyan, wrong conduct, mithya charitra. So now all those three things in the stanza that the author is talking about, these three guys we are going to talk one at a time. So this first stanza is an introductory stanza telling that what am I going to describe in this stanza. Wrong faith of agrahit mithyatva, wrong mithya gyan of agrahit mithyatva, mithya charitra of agrahit mithyatva. So 3 sections we'll be talking about. Similarly, acquired wrong concept, grahit mithyatva has also same 3 points. Mithya darshan, mithya gyan, mithya charitra of grahit mithyatva. From this life I learned that thing. Grahit mithyatva, one simple example. Some of the young ones may not understand what I'm talking. Older folks, they will know what I'm talking. In Bangalore or in Bombay, everything, 30, 40 years back, 50 years back, there was no telephones. There was only landlines. And that landlines also were only available if it is a one building, one apartment complex. Then only 1 or 2 people may have that phone. And Sunday afternoon, the owner of that apartment is trying to take a nap, and the telephone rings, landline, and the child is picking up the phone, and daddy wants to take a nap, so he tells the child, if somebody wants me, just say I'm not here. The child says, my daddy is here, but I have to say he is not here. So wrong thing is been taught to him. So in this acquired grahit mithyatva, basically wrong Lord, wrong Guru, wrong scripture, leading me to the wrong pathway. Kudev, Kuguru, Kusastra, leading me to the wrong pathway. That's why it's called Grahit Mithyatva. Again, Mithya Darshan, Mithya Gyan, Mithya Charitra. So 1, 2, 3 in the previous slide, 4, 5, 6 points over here. So 6 deep subsections we are going to see. Now, Grahit Mithya Darshan, inborn wrong faith. Remember, over here is a wrong concept, is a mithyatva, and out of which mithya darshan, that's what we are trying to say over here, agrahit mithya darshan. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, number 1 point we are going to go, and so we are coming to the next stanza. Jivadi prayojan bhut tattva. Jeev. Over here the picture is given. I think next slide may show better picture probably. No, it's not there. Okay, so we have to leave with this picture only. Okay, so Jivadi prayojan bhut. Jeev Adi means Jeev, Ajeev, Ashrav, Ban, Samvar, Nijra, Moksha. Seven tattva, seven elements. Jivadi prayojan bhut tattva. Sardetina mahi viparyatva. When I am knowing them in the altered fashion, viparyatva means altered fashion. Now it talks about Jeev Dravya. Jeev Tattva it talks about. Chetan ko hai upayog rupa binamurat chinamurat anup means Chetan means soul, means Jeev that has a upyog means knowledge, binamurat means no form, chinmurat means it is full of knowledge, and those are the qualities of the soul that is being described over here in the second stanza. So these are the word meaning, and so here on the path of salvation, this is the meaning of the verbal meaning of the stanza. On the path of salvation means moksha. Path to salvation means moksha marg. I am in mithyatva right now, then I'm going to go into moksha marg and I'm going to achieve moksha. I'm on the mithyatva, going to the path of moksha marg to go to moksha. So, on the path of salvation means a moksha marg. true faith of seven tattva like Jeev, soul, etc. is relevant to our purpose. So, agrahit mithya darshan we are talking about. And in that one, main thing will come is a sat tattva ki bhul. There is a altered understanding about the seven tattva. So I have to have a true faith. Instead of that, I have a wrong faith. And what is that wrong faith that is being talked about over here? So Daulat Ramji doesn't waste any time. Introductory first stanza, and right he started with the second stanza about agrahit mithyatva, means sat tattva ki bhool, means that mistake regarding seven elements understanding, means it's going on since time infinite within me forever and ever and ever in the past. Agrahit, forever. When I was in Nigod, there also agrahit mithyat was there, mithya darshan was there. When I was 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense living being, agrahit mithya darshan was there. Human being, hellish soul, heavenly soul, animal souls, they all have agrahit mithyatva, agrahit mithya darshan. Means mistake regarding seven elements. Now, we are not going to talk about the Nigod cells or one cell, 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense, or non-sentient 5 sense living being. We are not going to talk about them. We are going to talk about sentient 5 sense living being. Sangni Panchendriya Jeev. We are going to talk about it, out of which Sangni Panchendriya Jeev can be Manushya, it could be animal life, Tiryanj, it could be hellish life, or it could be heavenly life. So these are 4 gatis, that there are higher form of animals, a higher form of living beings are there, with a 5 sense sentient living being. So we are talking, first bullet is talking about me, us, for us we are talking about. We are not talking about animal, heavenly or hellish soul. We are talking about human being. A wrong believer posits his faith in their antithesis, means seven tattva, which are the right thing on the right form. Instead of that, I'm understanding in them in the antithesis way, means wrong way I know them. That's why it's called mithya darshan, belief, wrong belief, mithya darshan. In fact, characteristics, identity of the soul is upyog, means perception and knowledge. This is very important bullet to understand what it says. Word upayog comes. Word upayog is very important. We have to understand word upayog. If you understand, if we have a clear idea what upayog is, then if you read Samaysar, Pravachansar, Niyamsar, all those scripture when you read, then you know what upayog means. Upayog means modification of consciousness. Mode of consciousness. चैतन्यत्व की, चैतन्य गुण की पर्याय, चैतन्य गुण की वर्तमान पर्याय को उपयोग कहते हैं. I'm going to give this word is very important, we have to understand, so I'll give the definition in English as well as Hindi. First thing, what is Chaitanya Gun? Chetna Gun. What is Chetna Gun? Chetna Gun is consciousness attribute within me. And that consciousness attribute has two parts, knowledge and perception. Rather, perception and knowledge. Darshan and Gnan. Darshan and Gnan. Darshan means general perception. Gnan means specific knowledge. Just crude example I'm going to give you. Early morning, let's say there is dawn is still just breaking slowly, and I'm walking out, I'm going for jogging, exercise, whatever, and far away I saw something moving. There's not enough light to see what is moving. Something moved. That's all I saw. Something moved, not knowing what it is. It's called perception. Now, I put my attention, very sharp attention, and then I realized that there is a man walking with the dog. So, something moving is called perception. Man walking with the dog is called knowledge. Perception, knowledge. Darshan, Gnan. Whenever there is a Gnan occurs, it is preceded by Darshan. For example, I'm entering the house and I smell something unusual smell I'm smelling. What is it? What is it? That just some unusual smell perception is called darshan. And then I try to understand what that one it is. And then I said, oh, something probably was born in this house, and so there's a burnt smell that I'm smelling. That's called knowledge. Something unusual smell, darshan. It's a born thing I'm smelling, it's called Gnan. One more example. I'm in a deep sleep. Somebody says, Kirit, 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 Kirit. So the sound, they are hitting my eardrum. I'm in a deep sleep and I perceived somebody is calling to me maybe. That perception, initial perception is called darshan, generalized perception. And then I put my intense, my knowledge. Then he said, oh, somebody is calling my name. That's called Gnan. Darshan, Gnan. Darshan, Gnan. I gave you crude example right now. Now I'm going to tell you what perception means. Perception is so subtle that before you realize it's gone. General perception is so subtle, before you know it's gone. And whatever you know is all called Gyan. Perception is subtle, only whatever you perceive is called Gyan. So for us, our knowledge is limited compared to omniscience knowledge. So darshan occurs first, but it's so subtle, before I can perceive, Gyan process started already. So perception is described in the literature, but I'm not able to perceive, so perception description is very few places you will see. Darshan upayog. Darshan, attentive consciousness of perception, darshan upayog, will be seen very few places. Here and there it will be mentioned. Mainly when we say upayog means gyan only. So attentive consciousness of knowledge, jnana upayog, that is the one that is to be taken into consideration. Whenever the word upayog comes, you have to talk about knowledge only. Perception is subtle, which I am not able to perceive that. Darshanavarniya karma works on the darshan, means perception. Jnanavarniya karma is related to the gyan, means knowledge. So whenever we say upayog, means present jnana, present knowledge. I am hungry right now. That's a gyan upayog. I'm cold. Jnana upayog. I'm feeling warm. Jnana upayog. I'm reading the scripture. Jnana upayog. I'm listening to the scripture. Jnana upayog. So whenever we say upayog, means we have to say jnana upayog only. While we are on a perception, darshan upayog, one more thing I would like to clarify with you. In the literature it says, what is the darshan upayog? And they have given the example of the crow, kawa. He has two eye sockets. The crow has a two eye socket, but only one eyeball. And that eyeball moves so fast, so quick. When you're looking at the crow, it appears as if he has two eyeballs moving, but actually it's one eyeball moving from one socket to other socket. In literature it says, between these two sockets, eye sockets, eyeball moving from one to the second socket, and the time passed between these two sockets movement of that eyeball is called darshan. It's extremely subtle. We are not able to pick it up. So there is so much about darshan we talked about. So now we are going to talk about upayog, means jnana upayog only. One more thing about darshan. Remember, words are limited and the meanings of the words are infinite in numbers. So a word is used here versus same word used somewhere else, it's two different meanings. दर्शन शब्द यहाँ उपयोग किया गया है परसेप्शन के रूप में. दर्शन शब्द यानी कि जनरलाइज परसेप्शन, सामान्य अनुभूति, उसको दर्शन कहा गया है. जनरल इंफॉर्मेशन is called darshan. Same word darshan also will be used for samyak darshan, means it is called the modification of श्रद्धा गुण की पर्याय को भी दर्शन कहा गया है, सम्यक दर्शन कहा गया है. श्रद्धा गुण की सच्ची पर्याय को सम्यक दर्शन कहा, श्रद्धा गुण की विपरीत पर्याय को मिथ्या दर्शन कहा गया. वो मिथ्या दर्शन की बात हम यहाँ कह रहे हैं. तो दर्शन, both two places darshan word comes. General perception, which is related to the darshan, दर्शनावर्णीय कर्म के रूप में जो दर्शन शब्द आता है, जनरल परसेप्शन आता है, वहाँ दर्शन आता है. और दूसरा जहाँ पर सम्यक दर्शन होता है, श्रद्धा गुण की पर्याय होती है, उसको भी दर्शन नाम दिया गया है. सो वर्ड दर्शन हैज टू मीनिंग्स. One in the general perception perspective, Gyan darshan, gyan darshan, gyan darshan. That darshan is about general perception, which is so subtle I can't perceive. And second is a faith attributes mode is also called darshan. So do not get mixed up between two things. So darshan, the word darshan, we just talked so much about it. So now we are coming to the word upayog. Upayog, what does upayog means? Upayog means attentive consciousness. Attentive consciousness. Upayog. And when we say upayog, means it's going to be gnan. Upayog means knowledge, attentive consciousness. Gnan upayog. Upayog definition. Listen carefully. Atma dravya, ज्ञान गुण उनकी एक समय की पर्याय को उपयोग कहते हैं। ज्ञायक ऐसा त्रिकाली ध्रुव आत्मस्वरूप, ज्ञायक परमात्मा द्रव्य, उसका एक ज्ञान गुण है, अनंत गुण में से ज्ञान गुण है, उसकी एक समय की वर्तमान पर्याय को उपयोग कहते हैं। In English, soul substance, all knower soul substance has a knowledge attribute, and this knowledge attribute has a one samay paryay, one samay modification is called upayog, attentive consciousness. So the third bullet has lots of thinking. Upayog, now we know the definition of upayog. ज्ञायक आत्मा का ज्ञान गुण की एक समय की वर्तमान पर्याय को उपयोग कहा गया। I'm putting lots of time over here because this is extremely important. This is a basic principle. If you understand this principle, upayog word will come all the time in the scripture, and then you should say ज्ञान, ज्ञायक आत्मा, ज्ञान गुण एक समय की पर्याय को उपयोग कहते हैं। बस all knower soul substance, knowledge attribute, one samay present mode is upayog. This definition has to be understood. You can write down, repeat 5-10 times in your mind, and make sure this definition settles down in the brain, that even in the sleep I wake you up and just say, give me the definition, same word should come out from you. Upayog. And out of which we are going to talk knowledge upayog only. Now that upayog, the soul has a upayog, soul is also unique, soul is sentient, and is not perceived with sense organ. Wait, what does it mean? I have 5 senses. I have 5 senses in mind. I am the Sangni Panchendriya Manushya, highest into the hierarchy of the transmigratory soul. And you say, I cannot perceive the soul with my senses? No. My 5 senses, touch, taste, smell, seeing, hearing, and mind, all these senses, they know only matter object. This is a book. My eyes end up knowing. There's a noise going on. That noise going on means my ears are knowing that one. I'm smelling something burning somewhere, whatever. So these are the 5 senses, and mind can do the knowledge of the object of the world only. but soul is invisible and not perceived through the senses. And it's a sentient, it's a Sangni Panchendriya. So that's the first stanza. Second stanza is talking about the nature of the soul. सात तत्व की भूल में मैं कहां पर भूल कर रहा हूं, मेरी भूल कहां पर है? तो मैं बोलता हूं ये जो जिंदा है ना, ये ही जीव है. I am making mistake understanding the nature of the soul, that I say here I'm talking, walking, understanding, thinking, all those things. That's why I'm the soul. Same five senses are present in the dead body. There's no soul, no perception. So, first mistake I'm making about soul is I am the soul. This is the soul. No, this is body. Soul is inside. Soul cannot be perceived through the senses. So confusing. Come on, you're making life so miserable. Why are you making my life miserable? Well, no, we are Acharya, author is trying to tell the fact, real fact in front of us, that soul is not perceived through the senses. And I have only senses right now. So what happens then? Take it easy. Take it easy. All your five senses will be helpful in knowing the nature of the soul in direct way. What is the indirect way? Well, you're living in a Bangalore city. You go to the bathroom or in the kitchen sink, you go and you start the water. You start the tap and water comes out. When the water comes out of the tap, what do you know indirectly? You know indirectly that on the top of the house, top of the building, there is a water tank present, which I'm not seeing right now, but I made indirect inference that there is a presence of water tank on the top of the building because I am seeing the water coming out in the tap. Similarly, these five senses helps me to determine about the soul in direct fashion, inferential way. अनुमान ज्ञान से मैं आत्मा हूं ऐसा तय किया जाता है. So, five sense sentient being, I read the scripture, I understand the scripture, I digest the scripture, I contemplate on the scripture. All those things are making me indirect, inferential knowledge that soul has to be present. Just the way tap water comes out means there is a water tank on the top of the building, indirect way. Similarly, over here, inferential way, I know that soul is there. So, that's the nature of the soul that we'll be talking about. So here it is the first stanza talks about it. Let's say we have a few more minutes, so we can just go through it quickly. सात तत्व की बात आती है, तो what are the elements? And about the soul's perspective, what is this element doing? And matter perspective, what is this element doing? We are going to see two ways. So first we are going to see soul, Atma. Soul's perspective, soul's inclination, or soul is having knowledge, soul is a formless, etc., etc. Soul's perspective, from soul's attribute, from soul's knowledge point, from soul's perception point, from soul's faith point, from soul's conduct point, I know the nature of the soul. Now, from a matter perspective, soul means what? Soul is full associated with the matter substance. I am the body. Body is a matter particles, and soul resides within that. So, from matter perspective, I am the body. I can say I am the soul. I am the living being. I can say that from matter perspective. But in reality, I am the one who is soul, who is having the knowledge within. That's a soul's perspective. Matter perspective. Again, soul has an inclination of rag, dvesh, krodh, man, maya, lobh. All those things are called matter transformation. When we come to that section, we'll talk more about it. Right now, we are time limitations, so we'll just go through the names only. Matter, material karma are called matter tattva, with Jeev tattva, Pudgal tattva. Then inflow means psychic inflow, having rag and dvesh, or over here, auspicious, inauspicious karma inflow, material inflow. We are just going through the names today only. Next week, we'll be going through the detail about those things. So just get familiarized with the name. Bondage means psychic bondage, intensity of rag and dvesh. Over here, material karma bonding to the souls, which is called material bondage. Stoppage, psychic stoppage means beginning of purity. Material karma stops coming to the soul is from matter perspective. Shading means nirjara. Psychic shading, increased purity. Material karma getting shaded off from the soul. Moksha, complete liberation or completely free from material karma. These are the 7 elements, and the author is going to go through one stanza at a time and trying to say, this is my true nature. And instead, I am thinking that I am matter object. In those mistakes, he is going to go to explain to us in great detail in one thing at a time. It's going to be very beautiful ride. You can take these a screenshot if you want to study for your own self. And then when we go through it, it will make lot more sense. So here we'll stop. If there's any question, let's entertain those questions. We have covered quite a few things, and you may have a question. If not, that's good. But if there is there, then let's talk about it. Go ahead. You can unmute yourself.
Any question? Uncle, no questions for today.
All right. Because it's going to be, very low. We have covered quite a few things, and we could have just gone quickly and just say the darshan upyog, but then we have to understand. My style is when the new word comes, I define and where it comes from. I give the relationship with the other subjects and everything. So even if we go slow, don't worry about it, but at least we will know the right thing. These are the base principles. If my base is strong, my spiritual building will be very strong. If my base is weak, then my spiritual building will be just yo-yo, and I won't understand what's happening there. Okay, all right.
Yes, yes, Uncle. That really helped us when you told about upyog. So we got a lot of clarity about it, and also the other words which you keep, giving us the meaning also and definitions also. Thank you so much. It was very insightful.
All right. So do you want to do the Jinvani there from there?
Yes, we will do Jinwani Stuti followed by Navkar Mantra Jap and then Jai Ho by you. You please tell us that.
Okay, go ahead. You want to do Jinvani from there, or you want me to do it?
We will say together.
Go ahead.
निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है। इसके लिए जिन वाणी मागो, वंदना शत बार है। वंदना शत बार है। 9 times नमो यंतानम। Uncle, if you could say the Jaikaras.
बोलो से अनंत अनंत सिद्ध परमेष्टि भगवंतोनो जय हो।
जय हो।
ऋषिवादी विरांते चतुर्वेदी तीर्थंकर भगवंतोनो जय हो।
जय हो।
सिमंदरादि विश्वधर्म तीर्थंकर भगवंतोनो जय हो।
जय
जय
हो।
समर्थ आचार्य पंचम आराम समर्थ आचार्य आचार्य कुंद कुंद देवनो जय हो।
जय हो।
युग सृष्टा अध्यात्म मूर्ति परम गुरु परम गुरु श्री गुरुदेव श्री कांजी स्वामी नो जय हो।
जय हो।
प्रसन्न मूर्ति भगवती मात नो जय हो।
जय हो।
धन्य एकावतारी श्रीमद राजचंद्र देव नो
मनो
जय।
जय हो।
सनातन दिगंबर जैन धर्म नो जय हो।
जय
जय जयकार हो। जय जिनेन्द्र।
जय 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 जिनेन्द्र। Thank you so much, uncle.
We'll see you next week. Okay. Bye.
Yes, thank you.